everyone. Welcome back to the Personal Growth Talks podcast. I'm Jason, your host.
And I'm Julia, your co-host. Thanks for joining us today. We're so glad you're here with us.
Today's topic is something many people struggle with, including us, and that is comparing yourself to others.
Oh yes, the comparison trap. It's so easy to fall into, right? We look at someone else's life, their job, their looks, their success, and suddenly we start feeling not good enough.
Exactly. It could be a friend, a coworker, or even someone on social media. And we begin to think, why am I not like them? Or, what's wrong with me?
But here's the truth. Everyone compares themselves to others at some point. It's part of being human. But if we do it too much, it can hurt our confidence and happiness.
That's right. So in this episode, we're going to talk about why we compare, how it affects us, and what we can do to stop it.
And don't worry, we're not here to judge you. We've been there too, and we'll even share some of our own stories along the way.
Our goal is simple, to help you focus more on yourself and build a better, happier life without comparison holding you back.
So grab your tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive into this important conversation.
Let's begin with a question. Why do we compare ourselves to others in the first place?
So Jason, let's talk about that big question. Why do we compare ourselves to others?
Yeah, great question. I think one big reason is that it's natural. From a young age, we look around to see how we're doing. In school, we compare test scores. At work, we compare promotions or salaries. It's just something we've been taught without realizing it.
Right. And even at home, parents might say things like, "Look at your cousin, she studies so well," or "Why can't you be more like your brother?" So comparison starts early, even in childhood.
Exactly. It becomes part of how we measure ourselves by looking at other people.
And today, it's even worse because of social media. You open Instagram or TikTok and see people smiling, traveling, buying new things. And you start thinking, wow, their life is perfect. Mine is boring.
That's such a good point. But we forget one important thing. We're only seeing the highlight reel. People don't post their struggles, their stress, or their bad days. They only show the best parts.
Yes, and that makes us think they're always happy. I'm not. But in reality, they also have problems, we just don't see them.
Another reason we compare is because we want to feel better about ourselves. Sometimes we think, if I do better than that person, I'll feel good. But that's not real happiness. It's temporary and can make us feel worse later.
And sometimes, we don't even know we're doing it. It just happens in our minds. Like, look at her clothes, or he's so confident, I could never be like that.
Yes, comparison is quiet, but powerful. It happens in our thoughts all day. And if we don't notice it, it can hurt us without us knowing.
So true. But here's the good news. Once we understand why we compare, we can start changing the way we think.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here to do today, understand the comparison trap and find ways to step out of it.
So now that we know why we compare ourselves to others, let's talk about how this habit actually affects us. Because it does more damage than most people realize.
Yep, let's explore that next. So Julia, now that we've talked about why we compare ourselves to others, let's get into something really important, how it affects us.
Yes. And honestly, comparison can affect our minds, our emotions, and even our actions. It's not just harmless thinking.
That's right. For example, when we compare ourselves and feel like we're not good enough, we often feel sad or frustrated. That can lead to low energy, even depression in some cases.
And also, it can create jealousy. We might feel jealous of someone else's life, job, or looks, and that feeling can grow stronger if we don't talk about it or understand it.
Exactly. And here's another one, self-doubt. We start thinking, maybe I'm not smart, Or maybe I'll never succeed like that person. These thoughts hurt our confidence.
And when our confidence drops, we stop trying. We think, what's the point? I'll never be as good as them. So we stop learning, growing, or even doing things we used to enjoy.
Yes, I've seen that in myself, too. I once looked at another speaker who was doing great on YouTube. I started thinking, I'll never be like that. And for a few days, I stopped making videos. I just felt defeated.
I felt the same way. I once compared my speaking style to another teacher. She was super energetic and I felt quiet. I started to think maybe I wasn't good enough to teach.
But here's the truth. Comparison makes us forget our own strengths. We stop seeing what's special about us.
So true, and comparison can even damage relationships. Sometimes we feel competitive with friends or coworkers. We don't celebrate their success, we feel bad instead. That creates distance and misunderstandings.
Yes, and we may start judging others too, or judging ourselves too harshly. And all of this creates stress and pressure.
So when you think about it, comparison does not help us. It makes us feel less, not more.
Exactly. That's why we need to become aware of it and stop letting it control how we see ourselves.
Coming up next, let's share some personal stories, real moments when we compared ourselves and what we learned from it.
Yeah, that should be a great way to make it real and relatable. Let's go there next.
Okay, Jason, it's story time. I think sharing real moments helps people feel less alone. We've all compared ourselves at some point, right?
Absolutely. And I'll be honest, one of the biggest times I compared myself was back when I was starting my podcast. I saw other creators with thousands of followers, big microphones, perfect lighting.
Oh, yes, I know that feeling already. Go on.
Yeah, and I thought, I'll never be like them. Why would anyone listen to me? I even considered giving up before I really started.
Wow. And look at you now inspiring people every week. That's powerful, Jason.
Thanks, Julia. What helped me was realizing that everyone starts somewhere. Those creators I looked up to, they also began with 0 followers, and probably felt nervous too.
That's such an important reminder. We only see their success, not their beginning.
Exactly. What about you? Have you ever struggled with comparison?
Yes, many times. But one that really stayed with me was during my university years. I had a classmate who always got top grades, spoke confidently in presentations, and just seemed perfect. I thought, why can't I be like her?
I can totally imagine that. What happened?
Well, I became quiet. I stopped speaking up in class. I thought, everyone will compare me to her anyway, so why bother? But then one day she came to me and said, I admire your writing so much, you explain ideas so clearly. I was shocked.
Wow, that's amazing. So she saw strength in you that you didn't even see yourself.
Exactly. That's when I realized we all have different talents. Just because someone is strong in one area doesn't mean I'm weak. I just have different strengths.
That's such a great lesson. Your story shows that comparison can blind us from our own gifts.
Yes, and once I focused more on my own growth, my confidence improved. I didn't need to be like her, I needed to be the best version of me.
That's powerful, Julia. So listeners, if you've ever felt like you're not enough because of someone else, remember, you don't know their full story, and they don't know yours.
Exactly. Everyone is fighting their own battles, even the people you think have it all together.
All right, coming up next, let's dive into this idea. Everyone's journey is different, and why it's so important to remember that. So, Julia, now let's talk about something that really helped me stop comparing myself to others, and that is this simple truth. Everyone's journey is different.
Yes, it sounds simple, but it's so powerful. We all have different lives, different goals, and different timing. There's no single right path for everyone.
Exactly. Just like in a marathon, some people run fast, some run slow, some take breaks. But the important thing is, they all move forward.
That's such a great example. And here's another one, flowers. Think about it. Roses, sunflowers, and tulips don't bloom at the same time, but they're all beautiful in their own way.
I love that. We don't look at a sunflower and say, "Why aren't you a rose?" Right? But we do that to ourselves all the time.
Yes, we do. We say things like, I'm 25, I should already have this job, or they're younger than me and already more successful. But life doesn't work like a race.
No, it doesn't. And sometimes we're growing in quiet ways that no one else can see. Maybe we're learning, healing, or preparing for something better.
Exactly. And just because someone reached a goal before you doesn't mean you won't reach yours. Your time will come.
You know what helped me a lot? Saying this to myself, I'm not behind. I'm on my own path. That really changed how I think.
That's a beautiful mindset, Jason, and it's true. If we all walked the same path, the world would be boring. Our differences make us unique.
So listeners, the next time you feel like you're not moving fast enough or not doing enough, remember, your journey is your own. Trust the process.
Yes, grow at your own pace. Celebrate your own progress. You're doing better than you think.
All right, up next, we're going to talk about one of the biggest sources of comparison in today's world, social media, and how it affects the way we see ourselves.
All right, Jason, now let's talk about something we all use every day. Social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, they're fun, but they can really change how we see ourselves.
Totally. Social media can be helpful. We learn new things, connect with people, but if we're not careful, it can make us feel insecure.
Yes, we start scrolling and suddenly we see perfect bodies, luxury vacations, smiling couples, big houses, and we think, why isn't my life like that?
Right. But what we forget is people only post the highlights of their lives. They don't show their struggles, bad days, or doubts.
That's so true. A person may be smiling in a photo but crying when the camera is off. We just don't see the full picture.
And those perfect pictures are often filtered or edited. The skin looks smoother, the body looks thinner, the lighting is perfect. It's not real.
Exactly. But our brain sees those images and starts comparing, my skin doesn't look like that, or I'm not that successful, and that can hurt our self-esteem.
And here's another thing. We start measuring our worth by likes and followers. If a post doesn't get many likes, we feel like we're not good enough.
Yes, that's dangerous. Our value is not based on numbers on a screen. Real life is more important than social media.
So true. I think it's okay to enjoy social media, but we have to use it with awareness. Ask yourself, is this real? And how does this make me feel?
I love that. And if you notice that certain pages make you feel bad about yourself, it's okay to unfollow. Protect your mental space.
Exactly. Follow people who inspire you, not people who make you doubt yourself.
So, friends, remember what you see online is not the full story. You are more than what social media shows you.
Well said. Now, in the next part, we'll talk about how to take your focus away from others and bring it back to yourself. All right, Julia. So now that we've talked about how social media can affect us, let's go deeper. What if we stopped focusing on others and started focusing more on ourselves?
Yes, that's a big shift and a powerful one. When we always look outside, we miss what's happening inside us. But when we focus on ourselves, we can grow stronger, happier, and more confident.
Exactly. One of the best things I ever did was start asking myself simple questions like, what do I like? Or, what do I need right now? Instead of, what are they doing?
That's a great habit. And I think gratitude is another powerful way to focus on yourself. Try this. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. It can be small, like your morning coffee or a nice message from a friend.
Yes, gratitude helps us see what's already good in our lives. We stop chasing someone else's life and start appreciating our own.
Another tip: celebrate your own progress. Maybe you didn't run as fast as someone else, but you ran farther than last week. That's worth celebrating.
I love that. When we compare less and reflect more, we grow. We become more self-aware, and we stop needing other people's approval.
And don't forget, your journey is about you. Not your friends, not the people you follow, just you. You have your own timeline, your own path.
Yes, and when you focus on yourself, your life becomes more peaceful. You start creating, learning, and living for yourself, not for likes or praise.
So, listeners, ask yourself today, what makes me feel alive? What do I want to improve for me?
Beautiful questions. In our next section, we're going to give you some practical tips, real actions you can take to help stop comparing and start living more freely.
So, now that we've talked about focusing on yourself, let's give our listeners something super helpful, real, simple tips to stop comparing themselves to others.
Yes, let's make it practical. So here's the first tip. Practice gratitude every day. Like we said earlier, write down 3 things you're thankful for. When you focus on what you have, you stop wishing for what others have.
That's a powerful one. Here's another tip: limit your time on social media. If you feel bad every time you scroll, it's a sign. Set a timer, take breaks, or even unfollow pages that make you feel less than.
Absolutely. And my next tip is, set personal goals based on your dreams, not someone else's. Ask yourself, what do I want? Maybe you want to learn a language, read more, or exercise. Don't choose goals just to impress others.
Yes, and here's another one: celebrate your small wins. You finished a book? Great. You made it to the gym? Awesome. These things matter. Don't wait for big success to feel proud.
That's true. Progress is progress no matter how small. Another tip I love is, talk kindly to yourself. Notice how you speak to yourself. Would you say those words to a friend? If not, don't say them to yourself.
I love that one. And here's a great mindset shift: turn comparison into inspiration. If you see someone doing something amazing, ask, what can I learn from them? Instead of feeling jealous, feel motivated.
Yes, that small change in thinking can make a big difference. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, try saying, wow, that's cool. I want to grow too.
And here's one last tip: spend time with people who lift you up. Be around people who support you, not people who make you feel like you're always behind.
So true. Positive people can help us see the good in ourselves even when we forget.
So let's do a quick recap of the tips. Practice gratitude. Limit social media. Set personal goals. Celebrate small wins. Use kind self-talk. Turn comparison into inspiration. Surround yourself with positive people.
Beautiful. These small actions really help you build a stronger, happier mindset, one that's focused on you, not on others.
Coming up next, we'll talk about how to build your self-worth day by day. Little things that help you feel good about who you are.
All right, Julia, now that we've shared tips to stop comparing, let's go even deeper. Let's talk about how to build self-worth not just once, but every single day.
Yes, because self-worth isn't something we get from the outside, it's something we grow from within. And the good news is, you can build it with simple daily habits.
Exactly. One great habit is, start your day with positive affirmations. Say something kind to yourself every morning, like, I am enough, I'm doing my best, or I believe in myself.
Yes, Even saying just one kind thing to yourself in the mirror can change your mood for the whole day.
Another habit is do things that make you feel good about who you are. It could be learning a new skill, helping someone, or spending time in nature, something that fills your heart.
That's a good one. And don't forget, celebrate your effort, not just results. You showed up, you tried, you stayed strong. That's amazing. Be proud of that.
Also, take care of your body. Sleep well, eat healthy, and move your body. When you feel good physically, it supports your self-worth too.
So true. And lastly, be kind to yourself when you make mistakes. Everyone makes them. Don't be your own enemy, be your own friend.
Beautifully said. When we build self-worth daily, we don't need to compare ourselves anymore because we know who we are.
Exactly. Coming up next, we'll share a short motivational talk to remind you, you are enough, just as you are.
Julia, before we finish today's episode, I want to share a simple but important message with our listeners. You are enough.
Yes, Jason. It's easy to forget, especially when we compare ourselves to others. But the truth is, you don't have to change or be perfect to be valuable.
That's right. You are enough just as you are with your strengths, your mistakes, your dreams, and your story.
And remember, growth is a journey, not a race. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. You are moving forward.
So if you're listening today and feeling down because of comparison, take a deep breath. Say to yourself, I am enough. I am worthy.
Because you really are. And we believe in you.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Keep focusing on your own path and keep growing.
We'll see you in the next episode. Take care and remember, you are enough. All right, friends, we've covered a lot today about the comparison trap, why we do it, how it hurts us, and most importantly, how to stop it.
Yes, Julia. Remember, comparison is something many people experience, but it doesn't have to control your life.
Focus on your own journey, celebrate your small wins, practice gratitude, and be kind to yourself every day.
Also, don't forget to take breaks from social media when you need to, and surround yourself with people who support and encourage you.
We hope today's episode helped you see that you are unique and valuable just as you are.
Thanks so much for listening to Personal Growth Talks podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with friends who might need to hear this message.
And we'd love to hear your stories too. You can reach out to us on social media or in the comments.
Until next time, keep growing, keep believing, and keep being you.